Good day, everyone. We're doing our platforms live, give you guys value, and just really give you guys a good idea of what we're doing, and give as much value as we can to everyone. It really doesn't matter where you're at. The goal is to stretch and to grow. The goal is to live a success-filled life, and that's what we're teaching people to do. And we're going to get started with our classroom. All month long, we're going over to decision making. At the end of the month, I think it's going to be the 27th, should be on a Thursday. We're going to be doing our English, and should be the day before, should be doing our Spanish as well. So that gives you guys time to really analyze, see what we're doing. You can send us a message. We're doing classes Monday through Friday, and we're teaching people how to set goals and achieve goals. How to get past your fears, your doubts, your worries, everything that's stopping you from growing and developing yourself into the person you want to be. And this is completely normal. It's completely natural for you to be going through this because this is the way the mind works. This is the way we work naturally is to, one part of us is saying, let's go the distance. The other one is saying, let's stay safe. And we help people through this process and the process of setting and achieving goals. And we do this because we know that ultimately nobody stays satisfied. Nobody stays where they want to be. And if we do, we really don't like it. And this is totally normal. Let's see if I can get my video back where I needed it. There's a natural state of our own being, and that's to grow. And as we're growing, we need to develop ourselves and learn how to develop ourselves. And we do that by good decision making, a clear, organized, clearly defined goals, and then we start to move along. I'm going to play a little bit of Bob here, some of the videos that we have, give you guys a little bit of value, and we'll take notes and we'll come back to the lesson.
I really do. You get into this, I want you to let yourself really get into this. If you've studied our material in the past, we're going to cover a little bit of that. And we're going to keep. The secret, of course, is in your own understanding. And without the understanding, you're never going to reach meaningful goals. I really take a look at my own life, and I see where I've started, and I see where I am. There's such an enormous difference. And there can be in your life. I started out, I had a difficult time winning dollars, earning dollars. I really did. I was earning $4,000 a year. And that was in 1961. That wasn't very much money. And I owed $6,000. I had no formal education. I had no business experience. I had never held a half-decent job. So my head was in the wrong place. I was capable of doing anything, but I didn't know that. And it's really through the studying I've done, the guiding that I've received from my teachers that you're benefiting from today, that I've benefited from. Today I earn millions of dollars. I have business all over the world. As Mikey phoned me one day and she said, Bob, we are in every country in the world. That was a goal that I had taken my pen, sat down with in 1973. We would be in every country in the world. I had no idea how to do that. I didn't have any idea how I was going to earn my next $5. I was I had just left the Nightingale Kone Corporation. I went into business for myself. I was sitting in a little den all by myself when I wrote that on a piece of paper. And about a month ago, I went in to sit down and watch television, something I rarely do, and I don't enjoy it. I was only there a few minutes and I thought, I want to do this. And as I was getting up, the phone rang, and it was Mikey Steller, our COO. And she said, Bob, we just went into every country in the world. Do you know, it's a strange feeling. That was a goal from 1973. Well, I don't know what your goal is, but I do hope it's big. I do hope you don't know how to get there. And I do hope you're tuned in today. So let's look at this. Throw this up full screen, Scott. Look at that. Okay? Now, I've been doing this for a long time. I want you to really make up your mind. Today is your decision day. What do you really want? Scott Edwards said something really interesting this morning. Scott's our studio director. And he said people should think of what they don't believe they can get, because that's usually what they want. I thought that was one heck of a good statement. Think of what you don't think you can get. That's what you really want. Now think. You don't have to know how you're going to get it. I don't care what it is, but you've got to really want it. If you don't really want it, you won't cut it. See, when you're going through the tough times, and everybody does, when you hit the bumps in the road, if you don't really want what you want, you'll quit. I say, this isn't worth it. If you really wanted it, you wouldn't say that. I want you to get serious in this master class. Get really serious. Let's understand a paradigm is a mental program that is almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And almost all of our behavior is habitual. It's important we realize that. Your paradigm is probably controlling you today. Make up your mind it's not going to control you through this class. Let's take a look at what your paradigm does. Look at all the areas of your life that your paradigm has enormous influence over. Your perception, my God, that is the most important. That's how you see your life. That's how you see your world. Your perception is how you view your results today. It dictates how you see where you're going. Your perception is vitally important. And the beautiful truth is we can shift it. When we see that we've got problems in front of us, we can turn them around. We can solve them, we can go through them, we can go over them. Perception is such a phenomenal tool. And unfortunately, your paradigm controls it. Your paradigm's controlling your use of time. Everybody gets exactly the same amount of time. They get all there is. There isn't any more. Now think, really think. Your paradigm controls your creativity. It literally controls your creativity. Now you are God's highest form of creation. There is no end to your creativity. Your creativity is where you set your logic aside, you go to one of your higher faculties, which is called imagination, and baby, you go for a trip. And you just let yourself go. And you can go wherever you want. And understand this, wherever you go, that's where you want to be. This is real. Your creativity controls your effectiveness. You know, it's effective people that really move ahead in any organization. It controls your productivity. Controls your productivity. How productive are you? Now this, I love this one. It controls your logic, and most people are controlled by their logic. Don't let logic control you. If the logic had controlled us, the Wright brothers would have never got off the ground. If logic had controlled us, we would have no incandescent lights. If logic had controlled us, we would never be communicating all over the world right now like we are today. We wouldn't have been doing it. We're going from Sarawak to Buenos Aires, back over to Singapore, back down to Chile, over to Singapore, Shanghai, Kuala Lumpur. You're going everywhere in the world. Right now, that's where we're going. We are broadcasting worldwide from our studio. It controls your ability to earn money. I love earning a lot of money, and I always want to earn more. I use money as a yardstick to see how well I'm doing. I had a call early this morning with Arash, who's...
Now, when we look at this, and we look at what Bob's saying, this is one of the classes I had with Bob, and I look at the time that I put in with Bob and all the learning and the research and the development. I would notice that very few people globally, we're talking about a global footprint, would rarely come out of the same city. Now, it was rare that we would have more than two people, more than one person, really. It was a couple, they came out of the same city, but it was rare that we'd have more than two people come out of the same city. Now, why would it be that out of all over the world, just a few people are coming to study this material? And Bob's been doing this for years. We come together in LA, we come together in Canada, we come together, and it was the 1 to 3%. 1 to 3% from every city, country. I always follow that pattern. Now, when we look at the people that are successful, the people that are really successful, I'm not talking about just a little bit of success, and I'm not talking about your average individual or average success. I'm talking about people that are doing millions, billions of dollars. That's not normal. But you'd have this group of people coming together. You'd have the same group of people that gather together for every program, every class. And they're the ones that are winning. Everybody else was staying home, doing what they do. Everybody that was normal was staying home and doing what they do. They weren't attracted to this material. Why wouldn't people be attracted to something that's going to take them far beyond where they've ever been? Because it's not normal to change who you are. It's not normal to bet on yourself. It's not normal to take on a class to change you. So many people think they've got it, but yet they see nothing change. So many people think they're educated, but nothing changes. You see, once they become educated, they stop growing, they stop learning, they stop researching, they stop developing themselves. And little did they know they were going into a business model that eventually would top off according to how they were programmed. So it really doesn't matter where you're at and what you're doing. Everybody needs it. But very few are going to do it. Very few are going to bet on themselves. Well, I was talking about the truth was that he could have done anything, but he didn't know it at the moment. He didn't know that he could achieve any goal. He could accomplish anything. He could win at anything he desired. He didn't know at the time what he was really capable of. And I know wherever you're at today, you really don't know what you're capable of. Because if you really knew what you were capable of, you wouldn't be doing what you're doing. And it doesn't matter whether you're educated, you're not educated, or you've got a master's, you have a doctorate, because I've seen it all. And I'll guarantee you there's always more for me to see. But everything I've seen today is enough to tell me that everybody gets stuck. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're at. I've traveled the world, and I've seen it, because we're all the same. Eventually, everybody gets to the point where you can't go any further. That's right. Eventually, everyone gets to the point where you cannot go any further. Why does this happen? How could this happen if you're a wealthy family? Because the person that became wealthy to begin with took the family and broke that paradigm. Everyone after is just following the leader. That's right. Wherever you're at, wherever you were programmed into, whatever family you came into, it's going to be easy for you to produce what they've done. And usually it's going to be one out of every so many generations, or one child out of the whole bunch. If it's in that generation, it changes the whole family. Just his family, not everyone else's. Why? Because it is not normal for someone to go way beyond. It is not normal for somebody to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 1,000 times what their family has done. That is rare, and that's not normal. And that individual normally looks like he's got some kind of a superpower. Nobody else can keep up. Nobody else has a clue of what's going on. Everyone else is ingrained to stay safe. Everyone else is ingrained to stay where they're at and don't bet on themselves and not to go any further. I've seen this in the wealthy around the world. And I'm not talking about people that are just doing okay or doing good. I'm talking about people that are doing millions, people that are doing billions of dollars. All the same. The results are different, but the way we think is the same. Everybody gets stuck. Their family was used to earning millions. They get to the point where they can't earn anymore. They get to the point to where wherever they did develop themselves in relationships, wherever they develop themselves in society, everybody gets to the point where they cannot go any further. Not because they cannot do it, they don't know how to do it. I see it in people that are earning under $500,000. I've seen people that are doing it under 300,000. I've seen people that are doing it under 250, 200,000. I've seen this happen to people at 100,000, 130, 150. Everybody gets to the point where they just can't grow anymore. I've seen it with people at 70,000. I've seen it with people at 50,000, 40, 30s, 20s. And I've seen people stay there their whole life. Why is it that groups of people get stuck in areas and they just can't break free? Why is it that certain people go to college and they can't break free? Why is it there are people that have doctorates and they just can't break free? Masters and they just can't break free. Go look at it. Run your numbers. Check what I'm saying. Go see how many people that have doctorates that are earning $1 million a year. Go see the same group of people, doctorates, that are earning $500,000 a year. Go see doctorates that are earning over $300,000 a year. Go see the percentage that are earning over $200,000 a year. Globally, go check me. You're going to say, what the hell is going on? Go see people that have doctorates and are earning over $70,000 a year. 80. You're going to start to wonder, what's going on? You see, I did the research. They're not getting good results. Masters. Go look at the percentage that go over $100,000 a year. You're going to say, well, if you get educated, you should be able to earn millions. That's not true. You say, well, if I get a degree and I get a master's, I should be able to be a millionaire. Has nothing to do with it. You're going to say, well, if I have a master's, I should be able to earn at least over $150,000. Not accurate. When you really sit down and really look to understand, you're going to start to figure out what I figured out. That there's something really odd and peculiar going on that nobody really talks about. There's a control system that controls people's behavior, controls what they do, how far they go, whether they really win in life, or their life stays more or less mediocre. And when you take that group, now you go take this and you look at this at a global look, global advantage point, global viewpoint, and you look at globally, let's forget about the degrees. How many people are earning over $100,000 a year? You're going to see the majority percentage are living under $100,000 a year. And if you drop down in the 80s and the 70s, you're still going to see a major percentage living in that area globally. You're going to wonder, how in the world is this happening? When you take this global percentage and you look to see how many people earn over $300,000 a year, you're going to see maybe 2%. Over $300,000 a year. You're going to start to wonder, what is going on? How is it the majority of the people around the world are not earning? Only 1% earn over $300,000? 2%? Only 0.5% earn over $500,000 to $1 million? You're going to wonder, what is going on? Well, this is what we study. I study this and I help people wherever they're at, whatever they're doing, to get to the next level. Level up. You're here because you want to level up. You're looking at this because you want to level up. You want to go beyond what's normal. What's normal is what they do, and you're tired of it. Go look at what normal looks like in society. Go look at your city. Go look at your city map. And go look what the average does. Go look how much the average earns. Go look at what a little above average looks like. And you're going to look and you're going to see these same statistics that I'm talking about in your same city, in your same group. And you're going to wonder, what is going on? according to where we're born and the way we're taught, we have group habits. We have group behaviors. We have programs. People don't have problems. They have paradigms. They have programming. And these beliefs, if they are not changed, will control the behavior of an individual their whole life. Their whole life. And this is not just happening in one group. It's happening to everyone. Again, I said that you could be wealthy and you got paradigms and you have programming, and you will not be able to go beyond them until you go through the same process of learning how the mind works, learning how consciousness works, learning how to change your own programming, change your paradigms. It doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter how well accomplished you are. You're going to get to that point. I've met people that could never get over $60 million. Just could not do it. Didn't know what the hell was going on. They'd run back and forth for years. But every time they got that 60, they get knocked back down to 30. Every time they get to that 60, they get back down to 50 or 40. And every time they'd bet and they'd playing with millions of dollars and losing millions of dollars. And he just cannot figure out what the hell's going on. Talked to this individual a couple of times, several times. Just couldn't figure it out. There's energy. Your energy, I am energy. And there's laws with that energy. And if you don't know how to change your energy, how to change your habits, to see differently, to think differently, that energy wants to regulate itself and keep itself more or less where it's at. Now, this doesn't matter whether you're earning millions of dollars or you're earning $30,000. It'll do the same thing to the person that's doing millions, to the same person that's doing billions, to the same person that cannot get over $20,000, $30,000. It doesn't matter. $16,000. It operates in the same manner, and it's invisible. The higher side of your personality is invisible. The higher side of you, we cannot see. We see the expression of it. That's why it's so hard to find. It's so hard to see. It's so hard to touch. Your thoughts are unseen, but they control your behavior all day long, every day. You've probably seen your brother and your sister, your aunt, your uncle, your mother, your father do certain things, and they just continually do them in a certain way, and they don't change. And you wonder, well, he knows he can do better. She knows she can do better. But they won't do it. Why? Because there's deep-rooted ideas in them, and they don't think they can do better. There's deep-rooted ideas, and they just can't get out of the cycle. That deep-rooted idea that's programmed in their mind, which is locked up in their brain, will not and does not want to let go of what they are. Now, we're dealing with something inside of each and every individual that has them locked up in their own theory, in their own book, in their own way of doing things. And if that thing doesn't change, nothing changes. You could talk to them till they're blue in the face, till you're blue in the face, and it doesn't matter. Because until you can tap into their higher side of the personality, until you could really tap into their subconscious mind, nothing's going to change. The only person that can change them is them. The only way for you to change, or anybody to change, is the individual has to do it themselves. Nobody can change the energy and the direction of individual, only themselves. And those ideas that they have about themselves, to themselves, it's so deep rooted and so deeply ingrained in their own thought and their own behavior, they think that that's them. And they cannot see them because it's them that's thinking. It's those ideas that they think about themselves, to themselves, that is thinking and grouping ideas for itself. That's why you don't see it. That's why they don't see it. Because the ideas that are deep rooted in your subconscious mind have been so ingrained in their own thought that that is thinking and developing the rest of their life. I've tried to shake people, wake them up. It doesn't matter. If you're not ready to change, you won't change. If you're not ready to grow, you're not going to grow. You have to decide. All month long, we're talking about decisions and your ability to make sound decisions. Well, if you haven't been raised around people that make sound decisions, if you haven't been raised around people that make decisions to go completely out of the norm, if you were not raised around people that make decisions to definite ends, if you were not raised around people that make decisions to change, to literally change who they are, chances are you're not going to do it. You're not going to want to do it. If you were not raised around people that make decisions to change who they are to where they're going, permanently change themselves, get out of their own way, develop themselves. If you were not raised around that, you're going to find it very difficult to change. You're going to find yourself do what they do. And what is that? Conform. Conform. Look around you. See how many people have conformed to what they are. You may start to think right now, my God, have I conformed? Have I conformed? Have I given up on myself without even knowing it? Have I really conformed and decided, well, this is good enough, even though you know deep down inside you want more? You see, the mind, the power of your subconscious mind, it could do anything, it could have anything, but it also wants to protect you and stop you from doing everything and having everything. Because there's a mental program inside of your mind, inside of your subconscious mind, that is governed to control the behavior of an individual the moment they want to go beyond what they know how to do. And this is completely normal, and it's happening to everyone around the world. I've been around people that are in the medium range of lifestyle. And I find, look this up, look at how many people stay within the medium blue collar range. Look it up. It's going to blow your mind. Because the minute we go beyond the primal urges, primal instinct, primal need, majority of people conform. Oh, no, this is good enough. But they don't recognize they're going to live that the rest of their life. And you only have one shot. We have one life as far as we know it. And you're deciding to conform because you're looking at everyone else. You didn't choose. You're looking at what he's done, what she's done, what they've done. And you're saying, I've made it. You're looking at the wrong group. They're just barely making it too. And there's something inside of you saying, I want more. Why would something inside of you consistently challenge you to go beyond what you know how to do? Why would something inside of you consistently say, there's more improvement? I know there's more. Why would there consistently be something urging at your heart to go beyond where you are and what you know how to do? Because that is the divine spark within. There's a creative force. I believe there's a God. There's this creative force that gave us the ability to think. That gave us the ability to reason. That gave us the ability to go beyond where we've ever been. I know that divine essence is inside of you. It's locked up inside of each and every one of us. That's the part of our personality that knows that there are no limits. But it also knows you've been locking it up. It also knows you've been holding it back. It also knows you're not listening. That divine spark within is the true you. It's the highest side of your personality, and it knows it was meant for more, and it knows it's got a purpose. But you just keep suppressing that idea. Why would we suppress this perfection? Simply because we don't know any better. Simply because the only thing we were taught in school is memory. We were never taught about our higher faculties, and we were never taught about the higher side of our personality. All we were taught was memory and follow the leader. Here, read this over and over and over again till you can recognize it, repeat it, and you take a test on it and you win. It doesn't work like that in the real world. Because they don't pay you for what you memorize, they pay you for what you do. That's where people have it wrong. You could have bookloads of memory, and if you're going to teach, that's fine. But you'll notice that the teacher only earns so much money too. Go look at the college universities. Go look at the best universities. You'll see that, whoop, they got a target too, and it's not very high. Because you don't get paid for your memory. You get paid for what you do. You get paid for what you can do with your memory and how well can you organize it to a definite end. And if you can't do that, there's a job waiting for you. If you cannot group your own thoughts to your own desire, to figure out how much money you want to earn, how much your company wants to earn, to group all of your ideas to a definite end of earning money, you have a job. And we have one listed up for you. You don't believe me? Go look at your college departments. They got all kinds of lists for you, ready for you. Jump right in. Follow, follow, follow. They also tell you more or less how much you're going to earn. You want to go beyond, you want to achieve beyond, you're going to have to get out of your own way. You're going to have to literally get out of your own way because your logic has you stuck. Your awareness can only take you to what you are aware of. And this is what we do. We help people by expanding their awareness, teaching them truly about who they really are, truly what they're really capable of. And again, it's limitless. Bob said it. He said, when I found out that I could have anything, the whole lit up for him, the whole world. When I found out that I could have anything, my whole world lit up. Why? Because I could do that, and I could do that, and I can have this, and I can have that, and I could do this, and I could do that. We should be like little kids in a candy store. The whole world, life is yours. Why are you not saying, well, I could do this and I could do that, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to create this and I'm going to experience that and I'm going to do it because I am limitless. When have you sat down and stood up and looked around and really understood that I'm limitless? Or have you slowly, little by little, let every dream, let every desire begin to fade away? Begin to conform. Now, if you're one of those that's done that, and if you've seen that happening around your life, around people around you, really ask yourself, is that the way I want to live? Do I want to continue to be this way? If you don't, we have the tools, we have the knowledge. Not only do we teach it, we practice it. I've met a lot of people. I've met a lot of people that say they want to grow, they want to do better, but they're not willing to change them. And that's the only thing you could ever change. I've helped a lot of people. We've helped people globally. We've helped them achieve goals. Craziest thing, I've found more people in different countries that are willing to do the work than the own country we're at. Why? Conformity. They don't think they can have more, and they're okay where they're at. Craziest thing I've ever seen. We're the only ones that can limit ourselves. We're the only ones that can choose and say, oh, no, that's good enough. That's good enough for me. Well, if you're one of those and you're ready to go beyond, we know how to take you there. I worked with Bob. Bob passed away a couple of years ago. Worked with Bob for several years, working to develop myself to the point where I could get up here and talk to you, teach you. You see, I was studying this information before. It was changing my life. And I wanted to help everyone around me. I wanted to take everybody with me. Nobody was ready. And I wasn't ready to teach them. I was learning this for myself and using it on myself. But I wasn't developed to the point where I could take somebody else and teach them exactly what I had learned. I'm going to go work with the Procter & Gallagher Institute to learn how he did it and how to get up and talk in front of people. And that's why we're here today. We're here today because we want to give back. And we know that through this study, I've seen this study work with people. We've worked with people all over the world. We've worked with people from different countries. And we've helped a lot of people. This information that we're teaching, thinking the results that we're teaching, has changed the lives of millions of people. You could be one of them. You could be next. But it's your decision. You got to want it more than being who you are. You got to be really sick and tired of being you. I was really sick and tired of being me. But then you've got to make a decision. Take a look at what we're doing. And don't just take a look at it. Make a decision that you're going to change. Send us a message. We have programs Monday through Friday. Not just to have them. It's the daily repetition that you change. It's through the daily repetition that you're growing. It's through that daily repetition that changes your awareness, shifts your consciousness, changes who you are to who you truly want to be. We have programs on Saturdays. We're teaching 6 days a week. 6 days a week. So that you can become the person that you truly desire to be. Get involved. Get involved in you. Make a decision. You're not going back to who you are. Take a look at what we're doing. Get signed up to our programs. Get involved in you. Everybody have a wonderful day.